Lesson 1. A private conversation. Private, private. Conversation, conversation. Theater, theater. Seat, seat. Play, play. Loudly, loudly. Angry, angry. Angrily, angrily. Attention, attention. Bear, bear. Business, business. Rudely, rudely.
Last week, I went to the theatre. I had a very good seat. The play was very interesting. I did not enjoy it. A young man and a young woman were sitting behind me. They were talking loudly. I got very angry. I could not hear the actors. I turned round. I looked at the man and the woman angrily. They did not pay any attention. In the end, I could not bear it. I turned round again. "I can't hear a word," I said angrily. "It's none of your business," the young man said rudely. "This is a private conversation."
Lesson 2. Breakfast or lunch. Until, until. Outside, outside. Ring, ring. Aunt, aunt. Repeat, repeat.
It was Sunday. I never get up early on Sundays. I sometimes stay in bed until lunchtime. Last Sunday, I got up very late. I looked out of the window. It was dark outside. What a day, I thought. It's raining again. Just then, the telephone rang. It was my Aunt Lucy. "I've just arrived by train," she said. "I'm coming to see you." "But I'm still having breakfast," I said. "What are you doing?" she asked. "I'm having breakfast," I repeated. "Dear me," she said. "Do you always get up so late? It's 1 o'clock.
Lesson 3. Please send me a card. Send, send. Postcard, postcard. Spoil, spoil. Museum, museum. Public, public. Friendly, friendly. Waiter, waiter. Lend, lend. Decision, decision. Whole, whole. Single, single.
Postcards always spoil my holidays. Last summer, I went to Italy. I visited museums and sat in public gardens. A friendly waiter taught me a few words of Italian. Then he lent me a book. I read a few lines, but I did not understand a word. Every day I thought about postcards. My holidays passed quickly, but I did not send cards to my friends. On the last day, I made a big decision. I got up early and bought 37 cards. I spent the whole day in my room, but I did not write a single card.
Lesson 4. An exciting trip. Exciting, exciting. Receive, receive. Firm, firm. Different, different. Center, center. Abroad, abroad.
I have just received a letter from my brother, Tim. He is in Australia. He has been there for 6 months. Tim is an engineer. He is working for a big firm, and he has already visited a great number of different places in Australia. He has just bought an Australian car and has gone to Alice Springs, a small town in the centre of Australia. He will soon visit Darwin. From there, he will fly to Perth. My brother has never been abroad before, so he is finding this trip very exciting.
Lesson 5. No wrong numbers. Pigeon, pigeon. Message, message. Cover, cover. Distance, distance. Request, request. Spare part, spare part. Service, service.
Mr. James Scott has a garage in Silbury, and now he has just bought another garage in Pinhurst. Pinhurst is only 5 miles from Silbury, but Mr. Scott cannot get a telephone for his new garage, so he has just bought 12 pigeons. Yesterday, a pigeon carried the first message from Pinhurst to Silbury. The bird covered the distance in 3 minutes. Up to now, Mr. Scott has sent a great many requests for spare parts and other urgent messages from one garage to the other. In this way, he has begun his own private telephone service.
Lesson 6. Pussy buttons. Beggar, beggar. Food, food. Pocket, pocket. Call, call.
I have just moved to a house in Bridge Street. Yesterday, a beggar knocked at my door. He asked me for a meal and a glass of beer. In return for this, the beggar stood on his head and sang songs. I gave him a meal. He ate the food and drank the beer. Then he put a piece of cheese in his pocket and went away. Later, a neighbour told me about him. Everybody knows him. His name is Percy Buttons. He calls at every house in the street once a month, and always asks for a meal and a glass of beer.